Hello, and welcome to From the Edge. My name is Nicole Anderson, and I am your host for this podcast series. The podcast series is filmed in our studio in Dubai, and our objective is to feature great minds and fresh thinkers from across the innovation debate. We bring together founders, futurists, authors, and practitioners who are looking at industry models, innovative ideas, and technology that are shaping the future we live in. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Aggie Kocznur. Aggie is CEO of Rush, a new platform for solo travelers. Aggie is based in Dubai, and she has been resident here in the UAE for approximately 13 years. So she knows the region and the travel industry very well. Her background is predominantly been in the beauty and prestige luxury brand industry, where she's honed her skills in thinking about the human connection, in the way in which humans connect with brands, and the importance of the personal touch. I'm thrilled to have this discussion today, especially at this time of the year where travel is at the top of everyone's mind. So thank you so much for joining me, Aggie.
Pleasure to be here.
So Aggie, what we like to do with the series is get behind, the person. So it's quite an unusual opportunity, certainly for me, to be able to speak to someone from a completely different, spectrum. So most of our guests are, in industry, in enterprise industry, B2B roles. But you represent an interesting intersection, intersection of really where, I guess, the human element is coming into what we all do. All of us get on a plane, all of us go, hopefully, budget permitting, to places that, sometimes represent very memorable experiences for us. So tell us a little bit about your journey. I know you've come from a different set of industries,
Yes.
but that kind of human-centered thinking is very much part and parcel of your journey. So if we start there, that would be great.
Absolutely. So you're right. I've spent almost 2 decades building human experiences in the real world, in store. I come from retail design background where luxury brands create this beautiful theater for the customer to experience the brand. And when you think about this experience, it's really not about the product. The consumers really are looking for the new identity, for the experience, how they connect with brands in a very different way. So for example, in my career, we'd run events where we'd create this very curated experience for the customers, where they can find themselves a little bit within the brand environment. And that always fascinated me, that feeling of discovery, of belonging within the brand. But when you say about the travel, within the experience of the traveling as well. So this was the bridge, really. When I saw these beautiful experiences in store, this connection, curation, creating your own fragrance, having your bottle engraved. So it's so so curated to who you are or your loved ones. But then I discovered that was really missing in travel. I'm a passionate traveler, solo traveler for many, many years. And I felt that what is in travel industry doing so well is logistics. It's brilliant. You can easily book your tickets, find your place to stay. Everything is really easy. But we don't think about the people. People are nowhere in this equation. So I thought, well, this is something worth really focusing on today. People are traveling more. It's one of the fastest growing industries, solo travel.
Oh, really?
Okay. But, we don't really put that human-centric approach at the focus.
So let's talk about your angle, therefore. So your passion shines through, right? And I can absolutely see a great confluence between understanding how humans think, the psychology of a brand, but of course your own personal drivers. So that all comes through. So it's a merging of those. So what do you think the problem is with travel? What is the gap you're looking to solve, to serve?
Absolutely. I think today, again, we're looking for logistics. We find the place, we find the trip, but we don't know who you're going to be with. So if you're a solo traveler, it's really important. I'm known in my friends group that I'm the organizer of the trips, adventures, every weekend I'll go hiking. And first 3 questions I get asked: where are we going? How much is it? Who is coming?
Okay.
But yet when you look at the travel industry, that question is hardly ever asked, unless you search for it. You ask the organizers who is really coming. But then, it's really a lottery. You can find the best group of people. You will stay in contact for years. But on the other hand, you can be very unlucky and spend a week maybe in some remote areas where the connection will have to be quite close and intimate, like climbing Kilimanjaro. You're in a small group of people traveling together, exchanging, sharing meals. It's really, really critical to be with the people who get you.
Yeah. So it is a bit of a gamble. I mean, I think we've all been on, trips that, kind of binary, right? Things can go very wrong, or sometimes you're just surprised. And as someone who's had that kind of experience, I'm almost quite surprised when it actually does work out, right? So the chemistry around an experience that you, first of all, prepare for, often it's totally discretionary, right? We're not talking about business travel here. We're talking about your hard-earned money going into something that you really want to make special, irrespective of your budget. So and then it's that awkwardness of, well, if I go alone, I've got all these other eventualities and considerations. So are you tapping into the kind of humanness, not only the experience and the memories, hopefully, that you're creating, but also this factor of the individual and all the aspects of loneliness? And, we live in a society where we're getting more insular all the time. Is that one of the major drivers as well?
Absolutely. I think it's really important to not only what kind of experience we're going to have, what we're going to be doing throughout the experience, throughout the day, but who you really are as a traveler. And, it could be different travel on every trip as well. You can be maybe feeling social on one trip. On the other trip, you want to connect with nature and choose a smaller group of people who are a little bit slower in terms of activity level, etc. So I think it's extremely important to understand you as a traveler, to monitor how your behavior will then change, how you connect with other people. Are you staying in touch with them after? Is this WhatsApp group still alive 6 months later? So this is what we're trying to do. It's about building a community. It's not just about the trips. It's really about that human connection in the trips. And the trip is just a hook.
Yes. Okay, so there are a few giveaway words there. So, kind of building on that experience, right? I'm tuning in, and my lens onto this is, okay, how do you do that? How do you make it repetitive? How do you learn about that individual? Which obviously I'd assume is the segue into the platform you're building and this thinking of the design of the platform and why, AI is a key component about that. Do you want to touch on that thinking and why you believe AI is really a major a tool set for you to be able to deliver what you really need to do?
Yes. Today, I hear a lot that AI will replace human experience. Many people are fearful of what's coming. I see an opportunity. I believe that AI, when used correctly, can really help us learn about ourselves, learn about our preferences, learn about people we like to connect with, and help us intentionally choose the right trips, experiences that we would truly enjoy. Very often, we go on trips where we would never expect doing certain activity. A little bit of maybe push from the organizers, and you feel like you had the best day of your life. Just that little bit of touch. This is something we're trying to discover about human experience, human behavioral changes when exposed to certain experiences. So this is something where our AI engine comes in, really to help us learn about you as a traveler.
So Rush is the platform.
That's right.
And it is it's launched.
It's launched,
right?
Yes, we're live in iOS, yes.
Brilliant. So people can download it. And we've spoken obviously before, so there's certain things I want to kind of bring out in the conversation. But what do you see now as some of the kind of early signs, a new business in a territory like the UAE, which we'll talk about. We've talked about the kind of strategy, I guess, and the vision for Rush. Have you had like anecdotal or any kind of data points that are actually beginning to either prompt you for new ideas or have surprised you, that obviously are key into how you differentiate going forward?
Yes. We've run quite a few pilots already in UAE and also in Oman. It's summertime here in the region, so it's becoming a little bit more challenging. So we have limited opportunities, but we have done quite a few. And the early feedback has been really great. It really confirms our philosophy and our assumptions, where you put people together that have never met before, but you really think about certain categories, what really drives them, how they connect with others, what is the level of activity they would enjoy. It's really beautiful to see how those friendships are being born. And when you finish the trip with the comments, "Can we do it again next weekend?" This is what you want to hear.
Yeah.
People who came as strangers, leaving, it sounds cliche, but leaving as friends, but it really does happen. And this is fascinating.
Yeah.
Of course, there are always learnings. We know certain things we need to consider more, less are not so important. Depends on the duration of the trip or activity that you do. Of course, you're going to consider a little bit different set of categories and problems that might arise. So these are the learnings we are noting now, monitoring everything very closely to keep on improving with every experience.
So let's unpack some of the criteria there that go into the reasoning and the engine to make it that personalized. What are some of the factors that actually you use as a discernment category or categorization? Just to kind of give the viewers an idea of like how personalized this actually as Rush can get for them.
Yes. First of all, users can obviously create the profiles so they can already tell us a little bit about themselves, who they are, what they enjoy doing, what are their hobbies, what kind of activities that they enjoy in general. Then we ask them a little bit about the level of professional experience that they have to do certain activities. For example, I'm talking here about, skiing or surfing. So someone who is a beginner maybe wouldn't go with the people who are very advanced because they would not maybe very much enjoy this experience together. Ones are, much advanced, different sports, others will be left behind, and vice versa. So we will have to make sure that really the experience is tailored to the group correctly. Then we ask our users how they like to connect with others. I think it's very, very important. Is it a one-on-one conversation, or are you more shy, introverted? Are you extroverted? To make sure that composition of the group also allows for all these characteristics to shine through, and make sure that nobody's left behind, nobody's feeling alone. This is about really the belonging. We then ask them about what is really the intent you have for this trip. Do you want to progress? For example, I'm going skiing and I really want to become better and faster and more equipped. Or is it social connection? Is the connection with nature that you're looking for? So then the trip becomes really tailored to your need. We know that the morning will be more about being on the beach perhaps than running straight on the water to practice. We know how to tailor the experience around the breakfast. These little things really make truly the experience that people remember.
Yeah, I can imagine. So I gather that this is a universal experience you're bringing into the fold. So you live in the UAE and have done for many years.
Yes.
How many years?
13 years now.
13 years. So that's a great, a kind of great foundation for really understanding what the region has to offer. And as part of the series, we focused either on, the talent, homegrown talent here, which of course you are. People are very keen, considering where we are in the world and the times we're facing, to kind of highlight the different thinking from the region. So I think we've drawn that out in the conversation, but why do you see this region as holding so much mystery, so much opportunity for travel? What is special about not just the UAE, but either way we can focus on the broader region. What do you think is an untapped opportunity for global travelers here?
Yes, I think Dubai is so, I feel, underrepresented in terms of the adventure and the nature it has to offer. We always think nature is the forest, is the greenery, is the rivers. But we have so much here. And I feel, as a resident here for over 13 years, I have to say there is a lot of frustration when I have some people who want to visit, for example, the UAE, and say, oh, 4 or 5 days will be enough. We just do some shopping, go to a nice restaurant, we will explore, go, to the souks. It's going to be great. We have all of this, and it's beautiful. The culture, the entertainment, the shopping experiences, beautiful hotels. But there's so much more. We have beautiful deserts. That's nature. We have beautiful seas, the diving, the kite surfing, the hiking in Ras Al Khaimah, wall climbing, abseiling, beautiful waterfalls in Oman. Nobody really talks about that. And it's such a shame. So for me, it's personally very, very important to really highlight that part of UAE and the wider region, that there's just so much more to what people maybe are used to thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, certainly the UAE does hospitality wonderfully, right? And it's a key pillar of one of the key pillars in terms of industry focus areas, has been and will continue to be. But I guess it's under pressure now. But that's also an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity to reposition or rebrand, perhaps, how people would think of coming here, right? And so I think, given what we've discussed, I mean, hopefully that's something you see as well. So talking about the plan for Rush in terms of either the acquisition process, so how do you go about growing your traveler base? Because, it's effectively a marketplace of operators and your travelers. I mean, talk to us about striking the balance in terms of that as a business model. It's fairly early days, but you must already start seeing some of the opportunities and challenges. How do you go about striking the balance between
It's always the chicken. It's always the chicken and egg. What we do. So of course, it's absolutely key for us to partner with key trip operators, people who can trust, people who have a lot of experience in UAE and the region, to run these trips from the safety experience point of view. We try to keep it small because it's super important to us to stay connected, to learn together, to build that trust partnership with them. They bring already a group of their followers, of course, to the adventures, and it's great to see that they have this trust in us to build something together. On the consumer side, it's beautiful to see the word of mouth. And I think that's the best marketing a brand can ask for. When you invite a group of friends, that starts with friends, then friends of friends, then the group is growing, people are sharing. And it's great to see that the wellness industry, the sports industry, the hunger for movement in UAE is so huge as well. And I think people are really, really keen to experience more things in our region. So these, addressing our offering to these groups, to these running clubs, the wellness clubs, the gyms, are the right people to really address the product, and the ones that respond very well.
Right. So you're looking, obviously, acquisition through affiliations, going forward, et cetera, et cetera. No, I mean, it's striking. I think the bar is very high here. For anyone who lives here, we know how obsessed people are with fitness. And I think adventure is a different level, right? Like adventure travel. I'm not saying that's all you do, but I think that's a different, a different dimension to being active and, the kind of activity level. So that's really good. So, gosh, so you're heading off this tonight, I think.
Yes, traveling tonight
for a trip to Europe.
Yes.
I hear Barcelona, I think.
Yes,
and Poland. What does the summer hold in terms of planning for the business? And where, I'm keen to kind of get your view of where the business is likely to go. What's your view in terms of vision and what you're hoping to achieve? No time bound, because I don't think time means much anymore. But, let's talk about the roadmap.
Right. So summer plans, we're really working on improving the product. It gives us a little bit of a moment to reflect and look into certain gaps. So this is main focus, it's tech and preparation for return from the summer to the country. So first trips, end of September, October, when the weather allows us to be outdoors again, be more active. This is where we're planning, partnering with the right people, partnering with the right audience. So it's really, really focused on the offering of the product and making the product right, making sure the app is really supporting our users in the best possible way. We're also participating in a championship for the Create Apps by Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy. So I'm very, very pleased to be one of the finalists, which is amazing for us. Yeah. So we're preparing for that. This is going to be happening at the beginning of October. So there's a lot of work in terms of preparation, traction, and proving the idea is working perfectly well.
Okay. And what about beyond the region?
Absolutely. I think there's just so much opportunity. And as you already said, we focus mainly on adventure travel when people have to go through a little bit of struggle together to truly connect. We have some ideas. So Oman has been first international trips, but we partnering with our friends in Egypt. We have some planned trips in Mauritius. Trip to Europe where we also me connecting with some adventure experiences in Europe, in Spain, potentially maybe there's opportunity in Greece as well. So slowly looking into how can we grow, what our users are really wanting to do. Winter is coming. Perhaps we can start looking at some winter activities and winter sports as well.
Okay.
So slowly building small group of categories and activities that people enjoy a lot. So we can also invite our travelers to venture out.
And your reach, just in terms of I guess traveler base, I mean, are you seeing any early signs of how that will be broken up? I mean, the demographics, not so much in preferences, but where they are located in the world. Are you
Yes.
targeting European market or Americas or?
We can see that this growing group of solo travelers, they mainly live in big cities. And it happened to many of us living here in UAE. At some point, we came here, whether we are lucky enough to come with our families or alone, we had to rebuild our lives, our social lives as well. So we know that cities like Dubai is obviously perfect place to be talking to our audience. But the same as other cities like Paris, like Lisbon or London, where we can see a lot of digital nomads, entrepreneurs, affluent people who want to travel, but very often don't have anybody to travel with. People who are finding themselves yet again discovering the social life after big changes in life, whatever they may be. There's a big opportunity for us to reach out to them and show them that building your community can be possible without too much pressure and can be really safe.
Yeah. So is there anything you'd want to say about what Russia's not like, if you, not good for, or any kind of not cautionary, but, I mean, I think you have your market.
Yes.
What wouldn't it suit? Who wouldn't it suit?
I would say Rush is for people who are looking for a challenge.
Yeah.
They're not afraid. They have a little bit of courage. They're looking for this adventure. They're looking for this extra push. There's this survey about bonding. I think it was... I can't remember the psychologist's name now, it's got my mind, but about this physical and emotional intensity of the experience. That's when people bond.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
When you see the team
also
building,
helps with memory. Yeah,
and the team building exercises. There's a reason people go out in the fields and run and do simple exercises rather than sitting in the ballroom. Is that we bond much more when we go to a little bit of struggle together, physically and emotionally. So that works. So a little bit of courage, a little sense of adventure, a little bit of appetite for that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
It's not a dating app because we've been asked before, because people put the profile. It's not a dating app. It's really about building your community, meeting your crew, meeting new friends. And of course, if you meet the love of your life on one of those trips, beautiful. But this is absolutely not the goal.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know you were going to say that, but I do think it's important because when people think about, solo traveling, look, I mean, there is quite a lot out there that is actually contrived and focused on pairing people up. Yes. So I'm glad we said that. So I think we could close off on a few things. First of all, anything else, you thought about in thinking about the way in which you construct the business and obviously the technology behind that around the human connection? Is there anything else you wanted to draw out on, whether it's AI or just the experience layer for Rush? Anything we haven't touched on or covered?
I think we're missing connectivity with connection. And with the world that is becoming so fast and so challenging, and very often, we can feel fearful about the future. I say we cannot forget how important the human connection is. And we have to really do everything we can not to lose it, because it's so easy to get lost with this connecting online, being behind the screens, not leaving your house. We have to look for those opportunities. It's really important. I think that really ultimately makes us happier human beings.
So using technology really to create that human-centered experience. And for anyone watching, the first thing they think about when they think about AI is actually unhuman connection.
Completely.
And that's something you are absolutely turning the table on. I can see that. And then just in terms of where people can find you, your channels, the way in which you are hoping to connect with people, is it easy to find? I mean, obviously we can download the app, but your social channels,
Absolutely.
how you use the time to kind of explain where people can actually download, get in touch, follow you.
Absolutely, pleasure. So obviously we are available on iOS. You can search for Rush Travel to find us. We just launched in Europe as well, so not only UAE but also outside. So this is great news. You can follow us on findyourrush.ai. You'll find all the links over there, and also on our Instagram, findyourrush.ai, to follow us for all the adventures we're offering.
Fantastic. Aggie, listen, thank you so much for coming in today.
Nicole, it was a pleasure.
I know it's been you're in a rush today.
In a rush.
You are heading out, traveling abroad, traveling with your little dog as well.
Yes, I'm taking a little adventure too, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I know how much work that takes. Yeah, so wonderful. Listen, have a wonderful summer.
Thank you so much.
While I sit here, holding the fort, so to speak.
I'll send you some nice adventures.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oman is definitely on my list for July. So,
great.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Really a departure from the norm, but I think very appropriate given the time of the year, given where we are in the world. Thank you to Aggie again, and look out for the next episode.